Yeah, absolutely. I think I saw the other day that there was a guy that had competed at like again, I'm pretty sure this is what I saw, someone who competed at a Halo LAN in Sydney, and they had then just gone to the recent Gears of War finals in America. But anyway, we'll get onto the game now. It looks like beautiful shot there from Maiden Oz. 2 points have been capped here, one for each team, the home points, and currently the neutral hill is being contested.
Yeah, at the moment, it's not quite sure about where the neutral hit is going to go, to the Cog or to the Locust. It looks like Cog's going to take that. Maiden Oz cleaning it up, and as we can see, the rest of the team are going to be heading straight for that C hill. Now, this is where you can get a little bit overzealous in your pushes. You see, Maiden Oz started just, bootlegging it for the C hill, and then realized, oh, look, there's a lot of unknown players over there. Perhaps we should be a little bit careful as to what we're going to contest with. And, backing up, probably the best choice.
Yeah, absolutely. A and B here have been capped, and it's really going to be up to the opposition here to try and push back. Nice kill there from Sayer onto Desky. Beautiful stuff from him. Blue seem to be in control at this stage.
Yes, and the points are racking up for them, so that's really what's just telling the story at the moment. The Nashes are going to be brought out, and well, a nice shot from Maiden Oz going to clean up currency. And that's just going to be a little bit of an advantage at the moment for the Cog. But, like we were saying, it can turn around at any moment, but not just yet, as Caramel finds Lord Sayer with Dead Zone as well. And look, it's all a Cog story at the moment. There's just nothing happening. Currency, the only one for his team, still standing and barely defending this hill currently.
Yeah, Currency's going to have to try and do all that he can, and they're all starting to push towards him. He's going to take 2 shots off there. Onto, I think that was Stelza, maybe? Oh no, I think it was Karam. Apologies.
Caramel's guy, it's Caramel.
I don't know what I'm on about, alright? Nevertheless, we do see here the red team spawn back in, and they're going to be making their way over to the neutral hill. This is where we really need to see Sayer, Maiden Oz, Kaz, Karam push back.
Yeah, and well, it's not really happening too much. At the moment, we've got Cog just, dominating once again. They seem to be so proficient here, and, reaching the 200-point mark, it's only a few seconds until this domination is going to come up. Even with that, it's a triple cap by the end of it, and that's going to be the end of it. Cog victory for the first one. It was a fairly long round, but nonetheless, I would say it was fairly dominant all the way through.
Yeah, really nice stuff there for Unloyal. Good start to the game.
Absolutely. And I guess what we were saying earlier, what I was saying, I think that Unloyal is a team that really deserves some recognition for how they have been playing. They have been very, very proficient in their holes and their pushes, and just generally in their gameplay, working together very well as a team, making sure they're winning all their engagement on top of that. And it's great to see them, one leg up here at the start.
Yeah, you see Dead Zone here duking around a bit, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to place and where he will end up placing the marks in the dam and beach walkways, so it'll be interesting to see how that's going to get played out. Obviously, as this is escalation, respawns are going to go up by 2 seconds. Not a huge amount just yet.
Not just yet, but as we get to the end of the round, it really is going to favor whichever team is winning their engagements. And that's why something we find quite exciting, the frags, they mean more and more near the end of the round. And it makes you, force you to change your play style a little bit. Nonetheless, those markers are going to assist for any of the players that manage to get them in these long-range engagements. Those markers deal a lot of damage over a very long range. And Dead Zone's actually going to lose this gunfight here on the B. The neutral hill, Caramel finds that one. Lords as well, and Currency finding their own in reply. However, Unloyal, once again, still trying to do what they can to hold this B hill, but at the moment it's too exposed to actually sit within the hill's boundaries itself. So Caramel is just playing further back. A smoke is going to go out, but Caramel's just going to get the heck on out of there. He's in a gunfight at the moment. The Nashes are going to come out left, right, and center. The dodging is absolutely fantastic from Caramel right now, but it doesn't matter. By the end of it, he's going to get cleaned up. Lords claims his life. Maiden Oz, though, finishing off Currency. In the meanwhile, still the B hill neutralized. No one managing to cap it just yet.
Not just yet, that's for sure. Caramel did such a great job there of delaying time. Maiden Oz going to find Desky, but a quick trade from Lords onto Kaz will even things out here. And for the time being, it looks like Unloyal may be taking this neutral hill.
It's not going down.
Maiden will get taken down.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's Lords who's going to get finished off. Caramel still trying to do some work. He was taken down at this hill, not 20 seconds ago, but with those respawns, he's managed to get back onto the site, backing up his teammates, and the B hill is safely and squarely in the hands of Unloyal, who have barely a 5-point lead over the opposition.
Unloyal looking to be in control for the time being after a nice kill from Caramel onto Desky. See what they're going to be able to pull off here. Smoke grenades being chucked out there.
I really like these use of the smoke grenades, denying those long lines of sights, primarily with the Lancers, but also with, for example, the Marxes, which may have been claimed for each side. I quite like to see how that's going to happen. And of course, it is XOC Kaz who has one of those Marxes in hand for the Unloyal side. So, it's mostly Unloyal who are going to be able to make use of that. But nonetheless, it looks like Unknown are just going to be pushing on there with the Nashes, winning these fights as well. Currency finally finding Caramel. XOC managing to do a little bit of damage with those Marks as well. A headshot coming out for him, but Fred in some way still holding on to this B hill, but not long enough as Saya takes him down.
Phenomenal stuff there from Unloyal defending that mutual hill. There's not much time left here for Unknown to try to get back into this. We're only a mere 50 points away from claiming victory here on round number 2. Nice kill from Sarah onto Lords, but a nice trade. 2 actually there from Dead Zone. Kaz comes in with the reply, but Currency is there to rebuttal. We now see Currency here moving over to the mutual hill here. Smoke's being chucked out by Caramel. We'll see what he's going to be able to do here.
Yeah, this B hill really has been the story of this entire round. The contention is just coming out so prominently, almost a little bit of a toy coming out between these two players. But no, it's Unloyal to claim the round. Only marginally longer did it take compared to the previous round, but that's once again a round just won by points.
Absolutely, and Unloyal seem to be really in control here. Again, we see Lords here placing down that power weapon, and we'll see what he's going to opt to place and where exactly he wants to place it. Obviously, that Marxer is already placed down from the previous round. See, I wouldn't be surprised if he opts to place nothing or something maybe a little bit smaller, like frag grenades. Don't get me wrong, frag grenades can impact a battle quite heavily, but
it's not like a boom shot,
not like
right?
a boom shot, exactly. And
sure.
In the end, frag grenades will be placed on the platform.
And of course, the more the game progresses in escalation, like you said, the respawn timer increases, so 14 seconds now, but also the lethality of the entire game increases with all of these extra power weapons being placed. So if you're not confident that you're going to be winning those gunfights and making use of those power weapons, sometimes it's better just not to give that utility to your opponent. The last time, Unknown chose to place the Marxes, and it was Unloyal, primarily Kaz, who made use of them. Oh, it looks like Maidenose might actually win this fight as well. Trying to find the shots under the Locust. He finds the first one. Desky goes down. He's looking for the second one, who's already white, red. Going to be very lit up. And what is happening right now? Maidenose is going to be the one to fall. And Saya just completely saves him, which is a fantastic move of teamwork between these two players. Really impressive. And Unloyal once again. An early head start.
Yeah, beautiful teamwork from them. However, the points are completely even for now. The mutual hill has not been capped up until now, and Unloyal will get on that straight away. A and B capped. Only the home hill cap for Unknown. They're 2 rounds down. They really need to start to get something together here. Otherwise, they're just going to get... I can't see them getting back into things unless they start to get back into it now. But it looks like it might be a triple cap domination, and that's exactly what it's going to be. Wait, no, it's denied, but a double kill from Saya on the frag grenades. Fastest burst, ladies and gentlemen. I was talking about how they weren't useful, and Saya just completely proves me wrong.
They certainly weren't useful for Unknown. I'll give you that much, Sky.
Absolutely, but Sarah in the end will give them a taste of their own medicine, and this is looking so dominant for Unloyal. Again, another power weapon has to be placed down here by Lords. Obviously, he can opt to not place one if that is what he chooses, but the hammer burst will be placed down.
Nothing too crazy. Just essentially the hammer burst is just a slightly more proficient long-range version of the Lancer. But I just want to point out there for a second, Maidenose is on 15 kills in 3 rounds. That is absolutely insane. And we're just seeing such a stellar performance so far. The caps and breaks primarily coming out from Saya. The caps, I guess you could say. But, it's primarily Maidenose who's just doing, the heavy lifting of the fragging for his team. And he's still back at it at the moment, but it doesn't matter. Just like that, I think I cursed him. And he's going to get taken down by Fred from Subway. In fact, the entire Unknown squadron is rallying at the moment with a quick flurry of kills, use of the frag grenades from Fred. It looks like you're not going to find anything just yet, but as you can see, the entire Unknown squad is pushing up, really looking to take this B kill. They're going to take down Kaz, and well, that's pretty much almost the whole story gone for them, as Fred is about to cap this B kill.
Bit of lag there from Fred, but yeah, this is exactly what we needed to see from Unknown. We needed to see them bond together and work more as a team, as together they are stronger than just one. So they're taking down Lords there, beautiful stuff from him. And it looks like Unloyal is going to start to make their presence here towards the neutral hill. They know they need to cap that, otherwise the points are going to overwhelm them. Nice shot from Maiden Oz onto Dead Zone. Nice shot from Kaz onto Fred, and it looks like this neutral hill may be getting taken here as Maid finds Deskey. The neutral hill will go in favour of Unloyal.
Maiden Oz, an absolutely exemplary entry fragger on that push, especially with some fantastic backup, particularly Kaz. On that one, also managing to claim currency by the end of it. A fantastic retake of that B site. And what was a strong, very, very strong start, I would say, for Unknown is looking to crumble before their eyes, as only 3 seconds before Unloyal captured this. Only 3 players up for Unknown, and that's not going to make the difference. 4 straight rounds for Unloyal.
Beautiful stuff there from Unloyal. It looked so good at the start from Unknown. They started to come together. They started to push as a team, and they looked so unstoppable. But that retake from Unloyal just completely crumbled Unknown, and from there they just could not put the pieces together. They could not get back into that round. And in the end, it ended up with a trip cap domination for Unloyal.
Coming into round 5, you got a question, where does Currency place his power weapons? What does he place?
Honestly, at this stage, I would opt for him to just place nothing, as nothing seems to be working. But it looks like here he may still be placing one. I'm just waiting to find out exactly what that is. Just see swapping between them. He's not exactly sure. He will place the long shot, however, in the pumping station.
That looked like a little bit of kind of a random placement. You can see him scrolling through. He's like, boom shot, drop shot, nothing, long shot, nothing, boom shot, nothing, long shot.
Maybe it was the strat dev. Maybe he was trying to duke them a little bit. But yeah, now these escalations, respawn times 18 seconds. This is where it really starts to hurt a bit. Obviously 12 seconds, we talked about it before. Not that much, but 18 seconds. That's a lot of time.
Absolutely. And I mean, coming on further on into this match, we've got I would say primarily all of these power weapons are really favoring the long range. So, those marks, it's essentially a DMR rifle. The long shots, a sniper rifle, 1 hit to the head. And even those hammer bursts, essentially it's, a long range favoring assault rifle, in burst fire mode. Really, a lot of the, the heavy power weapons on this map are favoring these long range engagements. And I'm curious to see how that's going to interact, because I would say primarily, Dam is first and foremost a fairly close range map. We don't have these really, really long angles that are contesting. There's so much cover on this map, and it ends up being a lot of Nasher fights, which we've seen a lot of. The smoke grenades have also been very useful in denying a lines of sight for those long-range weapons. So it really does beg the question, are those long-range weapons going to deal that much damage? I think we've only seen 1 kill from the Markser so far from Kaz. I don't know how much is really going to make the difference here.
Yeah, I agree with that sort of. I personally feel like this map has a vast ton of long angles. There's so many long angles, but there's just so much cover to where those long angles just aren't effective at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess coming on to it, we've obviously got a pause just now, but no doubt we'll be getting back into it fairly soon as the 5th unknown player is back in the lobby. Yeah, and so we're just going to have a quick chat about essentially what's been happening. So looking pretty dominant so far, 4 straight rounds. What's the go from here? What the unknown have to do to really pull this back?
I think I think it was the last round where they pulled this off, but they had that one round where they just pushed as a team really aggressively into that neutral hill, and it looked so good for them. They couldn't hold off the retake, but I feel like they need to take something from that and try and exploit it a little bit more to try and get their first round on the board.
Would you say perhaps maybe, taking that ground and then getting more aggressive onto the next one, setting something in their sights and then just going for it, perhaps that would have been more beneficial to the team?
Look, I'm not really sure. I'm not a prophet, unfortunately, but I feel they need to experiment a little bit, right? They need to take that. They know that works, and then maybe they could try that. They try pushing forward. If that doesn't work, they just need to take it step by step and really try to build on something. Really try to get the river flowing, if you will.
They're not winning the majority of their fights, which is a little bit of a concern because it's, in the play styles that we've currently got forming out, it's Unloyal mostly winning these because of some fantastic, they're winning all the gunfights, right? particularly on the front of Maiden Oz, just entering and then with the support of his teammates, there to refrag, there to crossfire. Lighting up the players with the Lancer so that when Maiden Oz charges in there with the Nasher, it's just an easy shot to finish it up. So the question is, the Unknown, how do they make this work? In contrast to that, it looks like we're going to be proceeding with a 4 versus 5. So we're back right on into our Unlown versus Unloyal. Unloyal looking very strong so far. Kaz going to take the long shot. We also have Saya taking hammer burst. Stelza though with a nice headshot onto Lords. Fantastic job from him with the Nasher, and Kaz is going to find the first kill of the round with the sniper rifle. A little bit of tempting team damage. What are you doing, Kaz? Come on, dude. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Cog are dominating anyway. Kaz is just having a little bit of fun with the long shot, and that's 5 straight rounds for Unloyal.
Just when it looked like things couldn't get any worse, Unknown unfortunately have to lose a player. It's really unfortunate for them, and you can see at that stage Unloyal was like, we were already thrashing them pretty much. Like at this stage, we'll go for the team kill anyway. I still feel that they need to take what I was talking about before and try to bring it into effect. But it's going to be so much more difficult with only 4 players. We did see the boom shot getting placed there on the platform, and now the respawns are going to be at 20 seconds. We are going to get another message from our good mate Dead Zone.
I'm sure he has a few things to say. Nonetheless, that'll be conducted through the proper channels, not through the Xbox DMs. Anyhow, I think it's quite interesting that they're placing the boom shots. I think this is just a kind of whatever. Let's go for the boom shot at this stage. Why not? But Unloyal are just targeting it. As you can see, they're going to pick up. That's Stelza who's going to take it. He did some good work with the long shot. Now he's looking to do the same with the boom shot. But Lords is going to take that long shot, and I think that could actually work into the favor of Unknown, hopefully quite prevalently. So let's see. Maiden is going to be pushing on and taking this A hill. Now that's the opponent's home hill. So we're talking here both home hills in favor of Unknown. In favor of Unloyal, rather, and Unknown only having this B hill. And look, Maiden Oz and Stelz are just heading straight on in. There's no one even contesting it at this stage. Saya's going to pick up a hammer burst, but no, the domination is denied from A. And it's a little bit of a ring around the rosy at this stage. These teams are just chasing each other around the map.
Yeah, and you can see at this stage Unloyal are undoubtedly playing for that triple cap. We see all of them here gathering around the C A hill, and in the end we see Unknown trying to push back, but it's just not enough. And now 1 round away from victory.
Pushing it on to match point here, we're going to reset a little bit, go on to the second half. So one of the things that really did play into the favor of Unloyal in that round is just the 20-second respawn timer. So of course, as soon as a pick or two went to the way of Unloyal, Unknown just less players to start with, and then even less players due to the fact that they've many respawning, and it just meant that Unloyal were always pushing players together, 3-4 at a time, taking A hill, taking B hill, etc. And it's, there's not really much Unknown can do at that stage. They lost all the players, they're all respawning, and by the end of it, they didn't even manage to get out of spawn before losing the triple cap. Nonetheless, here we've got a little bit of a rotation of hills. Things are looking a little bit different. Desky doing some serious damage up here. He's got to push on the Caramel and find the finisher, but no, Caramel's going to take him down. Caramel looking for another one, though. He takes the body shield. That saves him from a Nasher blast. The domination looking to come out, but it gets denied narrowly here by, never mind, look at that. Currency, he was doing so much work to deny this. Didn't matter by the end of it. It's now going to be Lords' turn. He does a decent job as well, but Maiden Oz is there to refrag onto Lords. And look, at this stage, it's not really much to happen. Dead Zone and Currency can't even get out of spawn, and even with 10 seconds spawn times, there's just not enough time to get and deny that triple cap.
For me, that's just pure dominance. Nothing that Unknown could do. They were already so hurt, they were so down, and then they had to lose a player, which is extremely unfortunate for them. But it was just another kick in the face for them. They could not get back into things. And by that stage, they looked all right at the start of that 7th round, but they just couldn't hold on to it. And when you're down a player, like holding on to those sort of things is very difficult. Down
on a player, down on morale, and basically down in the dumps. And there's not much that they could have done to really pull themselves back from that. A valiant effort from the Unknown side, and we've seen them do fantastic work in the past, and there are 2 more maps to come. So, potentially 2 more maps. Like, we could be closed out on the second one by Unloyal. We'll have to, figure out we'll see what happens there. But so far definitely dominant towards Unloyal. Like, there's only so much you can say about a 7-0, right? It was dominant before when it was a 5v5, and then as soon as Unknown dropped the player, it was an open and shut case.
Yeah, and this is really surprising as well, because last time we saw these two teams come up against each other, Unknown won as well. Unknown won.
Yeah, and they have in the past seemed to be the better team. I'm fairly certain that like the Unloyal roster at the moment is a little bit spiced up, a little bit different to what we've seen in the past. So I don't think Made in Oz is actually on the team in the past weeks. Look, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But that's my recollection. And so I think that having a little bit of a change of players. And I've seen some players on the roster which I haven't seen before as well on both sides. So it could play into it. Having a more experienced player, having a more mechanically skilled player, bringing it in. Not only is that going to give you the actual entries and the frags that you needed in the rounds, but it's also going to give your team a lot of confidence, give your team a morale boost. And I'm fairly confident in saying that most of the Gears of War matches that we have casted here in the Gears Esports APAC Regional Series have been won or lost on tilt, essentially. Teams get ruined, and it's so difficult to come back from that.
Yeah, I agree, and especially on this second map here, it's going to be Foundation. And last time we saw Unknown win that one against Unloyal, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Yeah, and I do hope that we are going to see Unknown get their 5th back in the lobby. That would be, if they couldn't get their 5th back in, that would just be just a slap in the face.
Yeah, and it's not what they need at the moment. It's not what we need. I'm hoping that we get to see something nice and clean and nice and workable for both of these teams. And I'd love to say something a little bit more than, look, the team that's losing kept losing, and then the team that was winning won. I'd like to say something a little bit more than that. I got to cast what the match is though, so we'll have to see how that actually plays out. But nonetheless, coming on, assuming that this is a nice 2-0, heading on to the next one, and we see World Best and Unloyal. Do you think that Unloyal are kind of stepping it up a little bit, and that they can give them a real fight?
Honestly, it's going to be really hard for me to predict that one. I'm not sure. Again, sure, Unloyal's playing great against Unknown, but will that translate over to playing against World Best? Because all respect to Unknown, but they just aren't on the same level as World Best.
Yeah, fair enough. And I guess you could say that the thing that Unloyal do have going for them is the momentum, is the confidence. Yes, it's one thing to be confident against a team that is, in the shambles, but it's another thing to have confidence against a team that's, the best in the region. Nonetheless, I think that it's, perfectly plausible that we would see Unloyal, give our World Best their best. Hopefully take a round or two. Hopefully take a map, but it's not Christmas, so who's guaranteeing anything here? I'd love to see a little bit more competition here, and we've got a couple more maps to go in the play day today in week 3, so anything's possible at this stage.
Absolutely, and if we do get to that 3rd map, it will be Harbour. And I know I'm not sure the same map I'm thinking about. I recall a game where we saw Jimbot from World Best on Harbour with the long shot. And it was some pretty insane stuff.
Yeah, Harbour's actually a really interesting map. Personally, the one I'm most familiar with is Foundation. It's probably one of my favorite maps. But I think that Harbour should be interesting should we get to it. Particularly, if we're seeing World Best on it, like you said. It's always nice to see how the teams, whip out those power weapons, how they get utilized. I was actually a little bit surprised to see the Marxers coming out last time. It's not something we see too much. People, typically what we've seen is, the frags, the incens, and, the long shots primarily, but, nice to see the marks is coming out. Nice to see a little bit of everything. Nice to see how they get used in the gameplay.
Yeah, absolutely. And on this second map, I guess, apart from the fact that, we'll forget that they may or may not have a 5th player here, what do you think that Unknown need to do to try and get back into things?
Band together. You're a team. Act like one. Move together, push together. It's something that we're seeing Unloyal do fantastically. Yes, we're seeing a lot of fights, which are 1 versus 1 with the Nashers. One player wins, and then a second one jumps in and refrags, and then another one jumps in. That's not what that's not how you win a game. That's it's all about, the team fights. It's all about setting up your crossfires, having your teams back. And that's what we saw at the start of that match on Dam that I really liked seeing, was the way that Unloyal were using their control, were using their pushing power to, move on to, particularly on the B sites, and then, using the smokes to cut off lines of sight. I really quite liked this, just the general use of that. And hopefully we'll see some more of that kind of being displayed from both of these teams.
Absolutely. Loading now into Foundation. This is going to be a very interesting map, and we'll find out very soon if that we are going to have a fifth player for the side of Unknown. We will have a fifth player for Unknown. So that's nice. That's a good start.
5v5 games with 5 players versus 5 players. Always nice to see. I'm quite excited to see how this works. So this is a map I'm actually a really big fan of. I like, the Pistons area. I just like, a lot of the maps in this game, in the competitive scene, I guess you could say that, they're very symmetrical, of course, left and right. And then, of course, kind of whether you take, I guess you could say, the north route or the south route, things do, pan out a little bit differently in terms of, the range of engagements and such. And I'm interested to see how, these teams work it out, especially since this B site, while it may look fairly close quarters, there's actually a lot of angles, particularly from that first area where both of these teams just went from. There's so many lands of crossfires. You can see him coming up right now. Desky wants to push on forward, but Caramel and Maiden Oz have him completely locked down.
Yeah, absolutely. A flurry of very quick kills from both of these teams here. There's only 2 players, 3, 4 Unloyal alive. This middle mutual kill will be capped here, surely by Desky, but he's going to get a kill before that, but he gets taken down. Maiden Oz here trying to do what he can here for Unloyal. He will get a nice crossfire onto Fred from Subway, but Fred from Subway shooting back with the Nasher. And he will get taken down with the beautiful headshot there.
That was some fantastic work from Maiden Oz. 2 engagements that he really should not have won, and he won both of them. Lords now in a bit of a gunfight, but it's Kaz who's going to find 2 on a dead zone and himself, but Desky is going to refrag out. At this stage, the Unloyal are just in such a dominant position so far. 1 map up, and now, well, they've got 2 of the sites as well. So it's just the A site, and this is the first time where Unknown are actually managing to get some points on the board. They have a 50-point deficit at the moment. Maiden Oz and Caramel completely holding off this B side, but Fred's just going to jump right on in there with Desky. At this point, the C kill is looking to get decapped and then recapped. Sorry, the B kill looking to get decapped and recapped for Unknown, and this is a little bit of a saving grace.
Yeah, this is a good start for them. They need to try and hold this, however. If they can't hold it, then, well, it really means nothing. Especially because they actually didn't cap their home hill for a very large majority of the first part of this round, which means that they are a little bit behind on points. Obviously, they're going to catch up eventually if they manage to hold these 2 hills off. But Maiden Oz does not like the sound of that, as he's going to get one. Sayer's going to find one onto dead zone, and they're going to now cap this mutual hill back. And as I said, Unknown just haven't managed to hold on to this.
Lord's looking to push him with the Nasher, and he finds Maiden Oz. That's a fantastic start to this entry. He's now got Fred to back him up as well. He's looking to head on out there. And I can't believe this is just such a messy fight at the moment. Both Lords and who is that? That's Sayer get injured now. Desky is, though, in a position to clean that up. And Lords are going to pick himself up, Kaz being the one to try and push forward and fall by the end of it. Lords is also going to pick up his buddy, Sayer. No, he's picking up some ammo, never mind. So it's now Fred and Lords in a nice, fairly comfortable position on this B hill. And Unknown have really done a fantastic job of bringing themselves back into this.
They really have. Unloyal here, they've still got the point lead by about 20 points, but at this rate, if this keeps up, it's not going to hold that for too long. Currency is going to find Stelzath. Lords here just roaming around the middle of the map, and just Unloyal aren't managing to go for any of these mutual or home hills from Unknown.
And just look at that. Like, I mean, Maiden Oz, yeah, we've praised him for being a strong player, but he just runs in solo. I mean, what did he expect? He was going to win that Nasher fight, and then the next Nasher fight, and then the one after that? No, that's not how you play competitive games. Like, you can't expect to just take every single engagement. And that's why we say teamwork is paramount in games such as this. Caramel trying to make his way onto Currency, but it looks like Currency has actually the upper hand, pre-firing over that. But nonetheless, I mean, Caramel actually is the one who's in the advantageous position because he's just denying Currency pushing forward. Some fantastic dodge work from Currency. He has to neutralize this C hill right here, but is he managing to do it? Actually, he does, but he managed to break it just enough to deny it some extra time. By the end of it, doesn't matter. And with that, Swarm victory via the 210-point cap. And, well, it was a longer round, and Unknown did give themselves a little bit of a run for their money, but by the end of it, Unloyal take it.
Looking on the up for Unknown, however, that was the closest round we've had yet here on Foundation and on Dam. So if they can keep that up, then I wouldn't be surprised if we can see them get some rounds on the board. Again, Unloyal in the end my apologies, in the end are going to come through with that teamwork and coordination, but yeah, again, we're just going to see where the power weapon is going to be placed. It will be an incendiary grenade, and that's going to be placed in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few different interpretations of this, like taking down the center of the map. I've seen teams that just set up lancet crossfires. Anyone who tries to file their way down the center of the map on the opposition is going to be met with, 2 or 3 lances coming at them. And in the contrast, I've seen people do almost essentially what we've just didn't see which one of the Unknown players it was, but essentially just runs straight on down there and through the center of it. It doesn't matter because he's going to get taken down. Nash is whipped out left, right, and center, and the Incense are going to be taken for Stelza. Looking to use them in some shape or form, going to deny a little bit of area, but look, that actually did not very much. Yeah, killed Lords, but I don't think that was really a game-winning play there. I think that the Instones could have been used a little bit more effectively, but nonetheless, making use of them anyhow, that's something. Fred's going to take him down by the end of it, though, and, well, we've got 1 hill for each side, and then the Age is still neutralized. No one's managed to take Unloyal's home hill.
Yeah, and Unknown here, looking really good on this map. The cap C, B is, the neutral hill here is pretty highly contested here. We'll see who's going to come out on top of that. The home hill for Unloyal is going to be finally capped here after a very long-awaited amount of time. This neutral hill is being very heavily contested. Desk here moving on in. Lords is going to find Made in Oz. It's looking good here already for Unknown, as they are going to flush everyone out of the neutral hill here.
What a fantastic retake of the B site. Desky now just trying to do what damage he can, distract the players, but A is now safely in the hands of Unloyal. Look at the number of players from Unknown looking to contest it. 3 of them, but almost all of them get dropped. It's just Dead Zone, and now Desky has come to his aid as well. Dead Zone falls, and Desky as well after finding Made in Oz. Caramel cleans that one up, and now it's all but Currency respawning.
Absolutely, and you can see Caramel here. I was going to say he's probably going to go for that middle point, but instead here he's going to choose to duel an Unknown player. B and A has finally been capped here by Unloyal, and this is where Unknown need to get their stuff together here. They need to get under control. They cannot let Unloyal here get the lead. However, a quick kill there from Kaz will take down Fred. Caramel will take down Dead Zone. Looking for another, but Currency will put an end to him here. Currency will put an end to Made in Oz before he gets taken down by Stelza, but will get revived by Death, getting right onto Stelza. Completely duped here, and the neutral hill will be capped by Unknown.
And that was looking to slip away through the fingers of Unknown. Unloyal, really pushing them back. They managed to get 2 hills, and look at that. It's turned around, and now it's only the A kill still for Unloyal. And Unknown are the ones who had the point advantage by about 50-odd points. So at this stage, Unknown just have to hold. They could push for the A, but at this stage, it's not even necessary. They've just got to, buy out the time. And as we can see, Currency here, he's just playing passively, holding this B hill, giving any intel to his teammates. He's going to see that a few are going to be heading on from the Locust spawn side. And he's got 2 to contest with. The smoke grenades are going to flush him back, but he does have a mate to help. That's Desky. However, this B hill is likely to get neutralized. Caramel rushing in with the Nasher. Is he going to be able to find anything? No, he's just rolling left, right, and center. At this stage, Currency has taken so much damage and he falls. But Desky instantly picks him up. Currency, though, falls to Kaz, and Kaz gets himself a second one onto Desky as well. Fantastic job. Meanwhile, Sayer taking down Dead Zone. It's just looking so good for Unloyal at the moment. Unloyal managing to bring everything back somehow out of nowhere, but at that point it didn't even matter. With all of the skirmishes occurring, I didn't even pay attention to the round count, and like I said, all Unknown had to do was hold on to the hill majority, and 210 points to Unknown, and that's a round for them.
Me too, Dad. That completely caught me off guard there. There were so many fights happening, I didn't even pay attention to that 210 points cap. And for once, we will have Unloyal placing down the power weapon.
So congratulations to Unknown. That's the first round in 9 rounds total that they have just won. So, props to them, and let's see if we can get a few more on the board.
Absolutely, they're trying to figure out exactly what they want to place down, and where. They will place down no weapon, however.
Yep, I guess, if they feel like it's not really going to play into their favor, no point going for it. You don't have to do things, you don't have to place a weapon if you don't think it's going to help you out. We still have the incense on the board. Last time, I wouldn't say they were, round-breaking, effects. Honestly, from the incense with grenades, some great crossfires working out at the moment, particularly from Lords, really pinning down the Unloyal players. Incend is going to really staunch Saya, but it doesn't actually make a difference. It's not managing to hit him, and Saya just keeping down this crossfire. And with that, all of the frags going into the side of Unloyal, the entire unknown side is respawning. And could this even be a triple cap? At this stage, A taken, B taken, Saya coming in to hold C. And really, it's just a question of how long can they hold on to this. No one managed to break it. And that is Unloyal taking back a round by storm.
It looks so good for Unknown after they get their first round in the board, and Unloyal just say, yeah, no, and just completely push back. And it was pretty funny there to see after Unloyal got all those kills, they're just sitting in the middle of the map like, oh, we've got all the kills. And then Saya runs in one direction, he's like, oh no, I need to get the other point. He runs back in the other direction. It's pretty great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're like, oh, yeah, we wiped the enemy team. Who's taking their hill? All right, you have, who's taking, the neutral hill? Oh, you have, all right, what's the hill? Oh, we have to get the home hill. All right, say, trods on back there and gets it. Nonetheless, we're heading into the more mature end of the half at this stage. 16-second respawn times. Didn't manage to see what weapon was placed, but nonetheless, I'm sure maybe Kaz actually is going to be heading for it at the moment. Yeah, there you go. So it's just frags up at the Pistons. Nothing, totally groundbreaking in my opinion. Just some more grenades for these teams to play with. And Kaz in a fight at the moment. He managed to take down Lords. He's got some backup now. And once again, Unloyal managed to get almost all the frags. And that's 4 players down for Unknown. Dead Zone, the last one remaining. Maiden Oz is going to be really, at that stage, there's nothing really happening. Dead Zone falls as well. And that's the entire of Unknown respawning with those 16 seconds. 3 of them are going to be back up. The other 2 won't be back. Sorry, Dead Zone won't be back for a little while. Swarm's going to dominate. It's not likely that they're going to be able to just drop this. Nope, Seakill hasn't managed to be taken yet. At this stage, Caramel trying to do what he can, but it's the enemy's home hill, and they're all just filing in from spawn. The sheer numbers of them is what's giving them away at the moment. But just like that, the frag grenade is going to do so much work as well. Maiden Oz just trying to clean up. It's up to him versus Dead Zone. If he wins this, that's it. And Seakill is no doubt going to be capped here. There's no way Currency can realistically disrupt this. And that's it. Swarm domination in 1 minute and 11 seconds.
1-1-1. Beautiful stuff there from Unloyal. It looks so good for Unknown there. They got their first round on the board, and then 2 straight triple caps from Unloyal just to fight back. It's just insane. Lord's placing down a weapon. He's going to place down the overkill inside the middle. No, sorry, not the middle of the map. My bad.
Yeah, the south end of the map, it's one of the neutral positions, so it's going to be essentially a race to who can get to that first, if they choose to get to that. It's very risky to put all your eggs in one basket. 18-second respawn times now, and Unknown have, historically in the last 2 rounds, been losing all of these primary engagements. So it's not looking too good for them. Heading into the rest of this, Say is going to be rushing into the center with the shotgun. In fact, with all these smokes everywhere, that's what most of the players are doing. Both Fred and Desky have taken the grenades. Fred also managed to get himself 1 kill. The incense are going to go out. That's going to deny so much area. And it's the B kill which is actually going to be contested at the moment. Unknown actually looking to bring themselves back, doing a fairly solid job at the moment, leaving 3 players for Unloyal respawning.
Yeah, nice stuff from them, but they've only captured the B hill for now, and the A hill will be capped here by Unloyal. Lord starting to make his way over to Kaz. The smoke grenade will go out, and Lords will take down Kaz. Beautiful stuff from him. Could this be a triple cap here from Unknown? But it is going to get denied. Unfortunately, it looks so good. Oh, it's still possible, however. At this stage, it might happen. It's hard to tell, but Caramel will take down Desky. Dead Zone will find Caramel. We can see Dead Zone pushing forward, trying to slow them down. They're just running onto the point, trying to deny this triple cap. Beautiful kill there from Kaz onto Fred. And somehow, some way, Unloyal have stayed alive.
How? Almost all of the Unknown players died. At that stage, it was a fantastic retake onto their home hill from Unloyal. It was just filing player after player, and something that really sticks out for me is that first player who was contesting that triple cap. it wasn't, run in there and try and take the fight and then maybe die. It was run in there and just keep rolling, keep evading. And that evasive maneuvering gave his teammates time to respawn and then, essentially get there. Once he did die, they were there in a position to help out. And that completely turned around that round. I mean, yes, we still have Unknown with a significant 60-70 point lead, but there's just not much, it's not as strong a position, and this is now a position where Unloyal can seriously fight back from. Desky is just completely potatoing his shots, finally finds Kaz, but look, so much is happening at the moment for Unknown, just trying to, viciously hold on to what they can. The overkill's finally been taken from Fred, and at this stage, it's up to Unloyal to take the initiative and make something happen.
Stelza seems to have killed himself there somehow. Desky taking down Maiden Oz. Nice stuff from him, and it looks like the B hill has already been capped there, home hill capped there by Unloyal. At this stage, Unloyal need to push for that triple cap if they want to try and win this round.
At this stage, yeah, it's essentially Desky who's going to be holding down this B hill. Triple cap's potentially going to come out. No one's contesting B. There's no one in a position to contest A. It's all happening at C. The home hill for the Swarm, but the Swarm can't take it nonetheless. And that's Unknown picking themselves up a second round. So essentially what happened in that round is it was looking very strong all at once for Unknown. Managed to take almost all the hills, almost closing out that triple cap on the C hill. Some great denial from Unloyal, but it was only delaying the inevitable.
Absolutely, and for the second time here, we have Unloyal placing down a power weapon. We'll see where they're going to opt to place that down. Again, we see Saya here just switching through, trying to figure out exactly what he wants to place for his team here. It will be a long shot in the statue.
Yeah, and I mean, we're still near the end of the round, near the end of the half, rather. So, 20-second respawns now. So those power weapons are going to be dealing a lot of damage. And I think that Unloyal are going to be favoring them, really heading on for that long shot, seeing what they can do, taking control of the fountain area and essentially the statue area, and trying to, take control of that utility and use it to their advantage. That's heavy presence from Unknown at the B hill already. It's Currency and Desky who are going to be taking that. Caramel doing what he can with his smokes and utility, trying to push up a little bit. Both of the Unknown players have been smoked out now, and that's going to give Caramel the opportunity to head onto the hill. Caramel now trying to head on. He's got so many players to contest with, and he's just getting so lit up at this stage. He's eventually going to fall, and a great job from Unknown, particularly from Currency, to really close that one out, as well as Desky, giving him a hand there. And that's still all three kills neutralized, but it looks like ANC are going to be coming into a close for Unknown and Unloyal.
Yeah, Unknown really seeming to push back here. Nice kill from Kaz onto Desky. Will it be a triple cap? It will get denied in the end. Currency will find Maiden Oz. Fred on the long shot.
A little bit of, having some trouble landing the heads, but look, he's trying his best. We've mentioned the long shot, a really powerful weapon to be, utilizing these long angles. There's not really any of the primary weapons, the snubs or the lances, that can contest with a long shot and an angle like this, but still, Fred has to land these shots.
Yeah, a gun's no use if you can't land the shots, that's for sure. It looks like these teams are sort of just waiting for their teammates to spawn back in before they try anything. He will hit one in the end. He'll find Kaz. Hooray, hooray, everyone. He has hit a shot there, and he's looking for his second here onto Maiden Oz. A and B have been capped by Unloyal, so they're going to be getting points a lot faster than Unknown. So this is where they're going to try and push back and try and cap a hill. It looks like B will be capped here by Unknown, or will it? It's currently uncapped, not capped by anyone. We'll see
looks like there's
what
a heavy
way that's going
presence.
to go.
Heavy presence from both teams at the B hill currently. Fred's also going to grab those insects, so that's going to be pretty strong on the area denial front. He might be just about to toss that near the A hill, but at the moment, no, he's actually going to toss that on the rotate to kind of cut off Kaz. Finishes him off, but he's in return going to get taken down. He managed to detonate that incendiary grenade while he was injured, however, finishing himself off, but also denying the long shot from Saya. However, doesn't matter, long shots respawn, and Saya's going to grab that for him side. And it looks like it wasn't just Fred who's going to be missing his shots today. It's not easy with, those thumbsticks to really pop those heads, but Saya's doing what he can at this stage, trying to hold these long angles, find some of the Unknown players and see what he can do. He's pushing up with a second player, whips out the Nasher, definitely much more proficient in the close range. Finds Desky, also going to revive his teammate. I think he managed to pull that one off. I don't know, why is he pushing up in these close angles? He's going into the middle of a crossfire, and well, Fred's just going to clean him up. What a waste of long shot.
Yeah, especially with the long shot. Not sure how smart that was. Kaz, however, will be pushing in here onto the C Hill. It looks like they could be going for this triple cap, but it's all up to Kaz to try and deny Lords and Desky, I believe that is, or possibly Dead Zone pushing towards him. He will just back off in the end, as it looks like Unloyal are about to overtake Unknown here on points.
And look at that, he whips out the snub and manages to find one as well. Lords here, injured in the site. 5 seconds until this triple cap goes down, and Nate is going to deny some time. Currency also finds one, and that's going to be the swarm domination that Unloyal needed. Fantastic job to close out that one. That was a long round, very back and forth, 3 minutes 30 in total. But by the end of it, Unloyal are going to be continuing to pursue their lead.
Absolutely. We'll be back in here, and as you said, this is the half. Back down to 10 seconds. All power weapons are removed off the map, and the hills are changed around. So it'll be interesting to see who this is going to favour. I hope it's going to favour Unknown, as it'd be great to see them pushing back into this here. But it just doesn't look too great, especially after that last round. A couple rounds before that, it looked alright for them, but really have to see how that turns out.
Fantastic angles of those sites as well, of those hills. You'll see a couple of frags coming out pretty early on, but with those 10-second spawn times, you just have a look. Lords is already back in the game. Saya is only a few seconds away, even though he's only a few seconds since dead, and it's just a question of who's going to be, more ready to capitalize upon these kills. Maiden Oz has been very, very well lit up at this stage, and of course he's going to be heading on trying to contest this E-hill, this neutral hill. But at the moment, Fred's going to take him down, not going to really do much for his team, is Maiden Oz. Fred still trying to do what he can. I think it's Desky came to his aid as well. It's looking pretty decent for Unknown at the moment. They've got the 2 hills. They've got, a marginal lead of 1 or 2 points. At this stage, it's not closed and shut, but it's something where, it's a point where they can move on from.
That's for sure. Nice kill from Kaz there onto Desky. Lords with the quick trade, however. Caramel will take down Dead Zone, so it's a bit back and forth here for both of these teams. Just Unloyal here know they need to get that E-hill or even the D-hill, and they will get that D-hill. That will equalize them a little bit. It's going to take them a little bit to catch up here to Unknown, but they're only about 10 points ahead of them, so it shouldn't take too long. Nice kill there from Maiden Oz onto Fred from Subway. Caramel here just dancing around a little bit. Kaz will take down Currency. Dead Zone will take down Caramel.
With that, I think that's complete control of the D-hill. A fantastic entry from those Unknown players. Just heading on in. Dead Zone's looking to find another one, but he gets taken down by Maiden Oz, who also gets injured. In the meantime, Desky low looking to do some work. Fred cleans up. Maiden Oz looking to be, a bit of saving grace for Unknown. They're looking to get back into it. At this stage, they need to find a couple more kills in order to retain that lead.
Absolutely. It's exactly what they want to be aiming for. Unknown here, capping the F hill. They're now going to have 2 hills, and that's going to eventually put them ahead if nothing here comes out of Unloyal. It looks like we may be getting a triple cap here. It will get denied in the end after he has been touched by Unloyal. But he's still up for grabs.
Yeah, it's still up for grabs, and it's the neutral hill as well. But that said, we have so many Unknown players defending this F hill, and D is also going to be, feeling the brunt of that, as, it's been taken with almost no contest. 3 players now heading into a 3 versus 2 on the F hill is going to cause Fred just to, get on out of there. A wise choice. No point to spend your time respawning when that hill is lost anyway. Head on, try and reclaim one of the other hills. Meanwhile, like I said, Unknown have taken back D. This is really back and forth for these teams. Unloyal really are on the, have the upper hand at the moment. It's a marginal lead at this stage, but no, Unknown are going to be losing the E-hill now as well. This is an absolute back and forth. There's only a 1-point difference between these 2 teams, and only about 15 seconds until the round itself is over. There's only 1-point difference between these teams. Look, is it going to be an overtake? Unloyal are only 1 point behind, but now they're going to be gaining points at a faster rate. 205, 206, 207, 208, and that's 210 points there for Unloyal by the skin of their teeth. Managing to take that round away from Unknown, that's gotta hurt.
Phenomenal stuff from Unloyal there. As you said, 1 point in between them towards the end. Oh my god, that was just so close, but they're going to come out on top in the end, and that is not what Unknown need. They need to get back into this now if they want a chance to push into that third map, Harbour. They are going to place down the incendiary grenades in the middle of the map. This is very similar to what they did last time. Respawn's 12 seconds, marginally different. It's not that much at this stage, so it shouldn't be affecting these teams too heavily.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of these heavy confrontations in that middle area in the pits, and if these teams are going to be fighting over those incens, then it's likely we're going to see more of that. And like I said, that's definitely what we're seeing. Lord's trying to entry onto here. He does find Saya. That's the first bit of work. Finds another one as well. That's very impressive. Given that he himself had taken a significant amount of damage. Firing down an incendiary grenade, that's going to completely light up the players inside of there, and he actually manages to find Caramel with it. Maidenos does find him in reply, but Lords did his fair chunk of the work in that meanwhile, and that's allowed Unknown to take two of the hills, the E and the F. Maidenos trying to retake onto this E hill, this neutral hill, but he himself has two to contend with in a 2 versus 1. The real question is here, can Desky hold off? No, Desky gets taken down by Maidenos. Currency with the refrag, but still the fight is going on. Currency himself is going to get taken down as well. And at the moment, Unloyal are actually retaking this.
Unloyal getting back into things here as they're capping that E hill. They've got DE, they're looking for F. I'm not sure how possible it's going to be here, however, I'm sure they'll go for it nevertheless, or at least try to push them out a little bit. Again, they obviously could hold these two hills and win just off the 210 points advantage, but knowing Unloyal, it wouldn't surprise me if they do push for that triple cap.
I think the decision on whether it's a good idea to push for the triple or whether it's better to stay, it really depends. As the round progresses. At the moment, I like what we're seeing from Unloyal. They're just holding fast. They're not losing their ground too quickly. Unfortunately for Saya, too many missed shots is going to find him without a head as Desky takes him down, and now Desky also moving on to take this D hill. This is exactly what Unknown are needing right now. Pushing onto these hills while the Unloyal players aren't around. And now it's taking two Unloyal players to retake this. Desky's found one. If he can find the second one, he does. That's completely stilting the Unloyal progress. Unknown not only have managed to, force two players into respawn, but also have taken this D hill. I had not expected Desky to actually be successful in that take, but that's just such an advantage now, having the enemy's home hill.
Desky there just proved himself to be an insane player, killing Saya before that as well. Looks like Unknown are on the look for that triple cap. Desky finding two more, because why not?
That's
they're going to get this triple cap.
Fantastic job from Desky, really. Near the end there, I thought that, all right, the idea, push on to the D heal, do what we can. If we draw more players away from them, then it's going to allow my teammates to, take control of the other hills and solidify their hold there. But in the end, what actually happened is Desky not only took away that resource from the enemy team, he also, threw it back in their face, taking down the two players and the hill itself. Absolutely phenomenal play that essentially won that round for Unknown.
Absolutely, and 14 seconds again, still not that much here, but it is starting to slowly rise, and we'll see who that's going to affect more in the coming rounds. Possibly, it's possible that if Unloyal won the next 2 rounds, that we only have 2 rounds to go, but with how Unknown have been going at this stage, I'm not really expecting that outcome at all. Lord's taking down Stelza. Desky here proved to be so strong last round, but he's not going to come in clutch this time round. Maidenos will take him down. Pro from Subway will take down Saya. Dead Zone will get down and finish off there by Kaz.
And with that said, Kaz is also going to get himself a second one onto Lords as he heads back onto the D hill, pushing towards the enemy's home hill. This is his own team's home hill, I believe. So doing a little bit... No, look at that, the triple cap. Can this actually come out? The Marks is being whipped out. That's not a very large clip, but it lands just enough shots to take down Desky. Now it's just whether the Nasher can find Dead Zone. It doesn't even matter because Dead Zone doesn't get into the hill in time. Swarm is going to dominate. 47 seconds on the timer, 6-3. The train is leaving the station. Are you coming or are you going to be left behind? Unknown, it's up to you. Match point.
Phenomenal stuff from Unloyal. Unknown come out strong, but Unloyal come back stronger. The boom shot has been placed in a last attempt here for Unknown. They need to try and get something working.
Last desperate attempt with 16-second respawns now. These heavy-hitting weapons, these boom shots, these long shots, even these incens and these frag grenades, these are going to make the most of these rounds. As you can see, the Unloyal players, they are not stopping for anything. Kaz heading straight on it. He's going to take the insend, but Desky has taken the boom shot. Desky's been doing some fantastic work for his team so far, and with that boom shot, there's no doubt he has the utility to do even more. The round has had a nice flurry at the start with Unknown pushing onto the enemy's home hill of D, but Kaz uncontested in taking the neutral side of E. At the moment, both of these teams have taken each other's home hills, and it's just a little bit of a fight over who's going to retain that control.
Absolutely. It looked like F was being claimed there by Unloyal, but in the end, it looks like it will now go in favor of Unknown. Two hills cap for Unknown here. One cap for Unloyal. Unloyal now just waiting to spawn back in here with their full team, and then they're going to try and piece some sort of attack together.
Dead Zone here just playing really safe and passive. Great job from him. He has about to be contended with about 4 players from Unloyal, but Lords is there to have a say about it. He takes down Sayer, and at this point, Lords is going to get taken down as well, but Dead Zone's still trying to do a little bit more work with the Nasher. Can he find at least one before he loses the hill? He can't. Dead Zone gets taken down as Stelza finds his head, but Desky's still in the hill and contesting. Doesn't matter though. He gets cleaned up by the remainder of the Unloyal players, and now Currency is just going to retreat. At this point, it's better for Unknown to just use their resources elsewhere. However, Currency can't get out of there because of fantastic placement of that incendiary grenade. Stelza now getting completely aggressive. He's going to be pushing onto this F hill. Is he? Oh no, he manages to get one, and Dead Zone's also going to get taken down as well by Kaz with the incense. So this F hill's also going to get taken. E is the last remaining hill for Unknown. It's been completely flipped around.
Absolutely, and Unloyal just proving how much stronger they are as a team when they stick together, completely thrashing through the defenses of Unknown. You can see power weapons being picked up there by Kaz and Sayer, and that's just going to make things even worse here for Unknown as they try to make their way back onto the F hill here.
Absolute bloodbath as the Unknown players collapse onto the Unloyal players. Stalwart on this F hill, but it doesn't matter. The raging players from Unknown are going to break the defense and continue heading on. The boom shot has been taken, and this is where things get serious. 127 to 133. This is a little bit of a replay of what we've seen in previous rounds. Only a few points in favor of one team or another. Fred is going to be using this Markser to hold down this D hill in the long-range engagement. Like I said earlier, not a long clip. Caramel is going to be chucking over that boom shot to his teammate. Kaz is the one who has the utility. Can he make it work? He's worried about using it. He doesn't actually manage to find any with the shot. But at this stage, his team is actually doing the damage anyway. He finally finds Fred from Subway, almost loses his own life to the boom shot, that double-edged sword. But nonetheless, that is the D kill broken and taken for Unloyal.
Yeah, you can see him there not wanting to deal too much team damage. D and F here have been capped by Unloyal, and they are going to start to get the point lead if this does stay. Sayer will take down Desky. We see Currency here moving onto the F hill, trying to defend it, but Unloyal are just pushing through, trying to do all that they can. Maiden Oz will take down Lord. Sayer will take down Fred from Subway. Maiden Oz will take down Currency.
There's only 5 seconds.
It looks like this will be Unloyal claiming the first best of 3.
What an absolutely insane round by the skin of their teeth. Once again, that's the second round in this map that is just completely stolen point for point. We were going head to head there over the, up through the 190s, up to 200. And then it was just a narrow overtake from Unloyal. Unknown could have run away with that one, but Unloyal just steal it. Absolutely phenomenal stuff from them. Unknown really woke up in that match, but Unloyal said, no, we'll do you one better. And that's the best of 3. An absolutely fantastic job from both of these teams. GG, well played.
GG, well played indeed, and just such a great matchup there. Unfortunately, Unknown just couldn't get too much going. The first map, they had that unfortunate disconnect, but in the second map, there were a few rounds where they almost got something going, but I don't think that there was ever one time. Actually, I think there was maybe one time, where they won 2 rounds in a row, but that was it.
Look, I do think that they didn't completely steal the show, but they did give us something to look at. I think that the 3-7 scoreline doesn't represent how close it was. We had 2 rounds that literally went down to 1 or 2 seconds of a difference between the point gathering. And you can't get much closer than that, to be completely honest. The only thing that could have been closer is, an overtime scoreline with these narrow rounds being won. Just a fantastic job, though, from both of these sides. Unloyal really have shown their prowess today. And Unknown also have really, pulled their heads in and absolutely done a fantastic job to come back from a 0-7 scoreline on map 1 and bringing us a 3-7 on map 2 with putting it up an incredible fight on the majority of those rounds. Like, there was 2 or 3 rounds where it was a very dominant triple cap, but on the rest of them, very, very narrow.
Yeah, absolutely, and that'll be all she wrote, as we are going to have your next best of 3 up very soon, right after this break.
Next up is brand new Subtact with his track Friends. Let him know what you think. She got those lips like Aphrodite, and she's not easily excited. She like to talk during a movie. She like wasabi on her sushi. So specific. She likes the strangest things. My intuition tells me to let her keep making decisions. She does it naturally, so I will follow your lead. Hands down, my mind's made up, you're the best I ever had. Hands down, it feels so good when I bust it subtract. Hands down, I'm not one for getting too attached. Hands down, but my mind's made up, you're the best I ever had. We don't have too much in common, except we puff that marijuana. You got my head spinning like tie-dye, all spaced out like it's sci-fi. That good connection like Wi-Fi. Let me get to know ya. So specific. She likes the strangest things. My intuition tells me to let her keep making decisions. She does it naturally, so I will follow your lead. Hands down, my mind's made up, you're the best I ever had. Hands down, it feels so good when I bust it subtract. Hands down, I'm not one for getting too attached. Hands down, but my mind's made up, you're the best I ever had. I don't slow down, I'm too wavy, but I don't know how we both ended up tangled in this place, but I'm here to stay. I can't fake the wave, I guess it's safe to say that I got you. And you got some new lingerie, well that's thoughtful. I created new Halloween for that costume. Loving how it pans out, I got a pair of cuffs, put your hands down. But usually I'm solo, dolo, act a fool. I don't know so-and-so, I'm home alone. If I some known to not go out, I'm not about to ask you out. That's not my route, cause it hurts to see rings on really bad teams. And love is just pain, I'm slave to these things through all that. I will follow your lead. Hands down, my mind's made up, you're the best I ever had. Hands down, it feels so good when I bust it subtract. Hands down, I'm not one for getting too attached. Hands down, but my mind's made up, you're the best I ever had. Hands down, my mind's made up, you're the best I ever had. Hands down, it feels so good when I bust it subtract. Hands down, I'm not one for getting too attached. Hands down. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. to redefine. No regrets tied to the things we leave behind.